Rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been acquitted of the most serious charges during his federal criminal trial of racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking. However, he has been found guilty of 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. Combs can receive a sentence of 20 years in prison for the transportation conviction. If found guilty of the major charges, he would have served life in prison. This story is still developing. 24 hours after the government passed legislation to end Stuart Young's prime ministerial pension, the cabinet also pulled his security detail. Stuart Young said officers attached to his protection detail received a call where they were informed that they were no longer assigned to him. They reportedly gave him a drop home before ending his protection. Half of us walking around with Jesus as our protection every single day. So why should Stuart Young be any different? If you all had done all your job to curb crime in this country and stop the gang activity instead of turning a blind eye to it, maybe you wouldn't have need a protection detail. Because honestly, you're no different from anybody in Trinidad and Tobago. So continue your walk with the Lord. All you go let me know what you all think.
Energy Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal has responded to St. Vincent Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who compared Trinidad and Tobago's currency to monopoly money. Munilal accused him of failing to speak out when Trinidad and Tobago's economy was being mismanaged by the previous government. Now I know some of you are going to get mad at me, but the honeymoon stage is over, and I'm getting quite fed up of this current government only blaming every single thing on the previous government. This is why we put you all in power, for you all to get to work. So get to work. And Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, I remember that same Trinidad and Tobago currency that you're calling monopoly money was used for relief supplies when you were flattened by the hurricane. So please, show some respect. Because in Trinidad and Tobago, we are very patriotic and we don't play like that. Because if a hurricane unfortunately passes through again this year, are you going to keep the same energy? So y'all go let me know, what do y'all think about Dr. Ralph Gonsalves' comments about the Trinidad and Tobago currency, calling it monopoly money? Y'all go let me know what y'all think. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be awarded the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago during his upcoming visit. The government says Modi's leadership has deepened the 63-year-old relationship between Trinidad and Tobago and India. What we really doing? We just giving medals to anybody now. Because what did Modi do? Book an official trip to Trinidad and Tobago. So what we gonna do next as a country? Give travel with Zoe the Hummingbird medal next? Come on, look how much leaders have visited Trinidad and Tobago officially, and they didn't get any medals of honor. So y'all go let me know, do y'all think that the Indian Prime Minister deserves the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago award, and he has not yet stepped foot in Trinidad and Tobago as yet? Y'all go let me know. Police are currently searching for bandits who stole 77 cases of rude boy from the Milford 24 gas station in Bonacourt, Tobago. The break-in at the gas station happened on Thursday around 2 a.m. and the missing cases are valued at over $34,000. Tobago police are currently tracking the bandits and the missing stock of rude boy. The PNM has thrown a challenge to the UNC government to show evidence of wrongdoing within the CPEP program. They noted that all contracts were granted with the approval of the CPEP board, within the provisions of the public procurement regulations. You know, the funny thing is, since when the PNM gets so concerned about the people of Trinidad and Tobago? For 10 years, you all walked around like kings. Nobody could have tell you all nothing. Now you all want to do the people's work. So all you can let me know, is politics truly a game where the people are used as pawns? You all go let me know. 10,000 people were left on the breadline after CPEP contracts were terminated. This termination comes days after the government announced plans to conduct an audit of the program. It's never a good situation not knowing when your next paycheck is going to come in. School going on vacation, so that means groceries have to buy, right? September, school going and start back, so that means books have to buy. So y'all go let me know, do y'all respect the move of CPEP contracts being terminated? Because yes, you have to restructure to get rid of corruption, but for some reason, it's only the poor people that feel it. Y'all go let me know what y'all think. Stuart Young's pension as the former Prime Minister will be cut as a result of today's parliamentary debate, proposing that someone has to serve for at least a year as Prime Minister to receive the benefits. Listen, I can give a damn if Stuart Young gets his pension or not. There are a lot more important issues to be debated in Parliament. For example, all the femicides that are currently going on in this country. The murder rate is continuing to go sky high, and we have to have a debate on domestic violence. And this is why the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago does normally say, no matter who wins an election, is the same foolishness that is going on. Who really cares if Stuart Young gets his pension or not? How is that helping us as the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? You all said if the UNC wins, everybody wins. Well, get all your act together now. Because Stuart Young getting his pension taken away is not a win, right? There are a lot more important issues to be debated. So get all your act together, please. The decomposing bodies of two women said to be of Spanish descent were discovered in shallow graves. The discovery was made in Bujical yesterday around 11:40 p.m. Upon excavating, officers found two bodies believed to be killed and buried. The bodies were removed around 3:30 a.m. today. Is it just me, or is Trinidad and Tobago becoming a very unsafe place for women today? A lot of femicides are going on and little is being done about it. Y'all go let me know what y'all think about this story. Wasa CEO Keith Roy Halliday was fired after a management shakeup at Wasa. This move comes 2 days after Minister of Public Utilities Barry Padarat called Halliday a failed CEO. Halliday was hired last November by the PNM-led administration to lead Wasa's transformation plan, earning him a salary payment of over $100,000 per month. Imagine we living in the 21st century and a lot of people in our population cannot get water every day. Some getting water every week, every other week, every month. Some can't even get a connection. But we hired a CEO and paid him over $100,000 per month. And after 6 months on the job, no transformation has occurred. But the question is this Wasa shakeup deserved? Y'all go let me know. The hunt is on for 5 Venezuelan nationals who escaped the immigration detention center. The 5 escaped by cutting a hole into the roof of the facility. They were last seen at the Oripo facility at 2:45 p.m. yesterday. The TTPS are urging the public to be vigilant. However, police were able to capture 3 of the 5 suspects. Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander has raised an alarm that children are using the illegal drug methamphetamine at school. He says children today have gained information on social media where they put meth into a balloon, fill the balloon with helium and suck it. He says the ministry will address the issue. If we don't get a handle on this now, we will be raising a society of junkies and drug addicts. The question now is, how are they getting helium-filled balloons into the school? This is an issue we have to fix now without delay, or our next generation is gone. A prison officer was shot multiple times during an attack at Piaco Plaza. The officer, identified as Govindra Balgobin, survived the attack of being shot multiple times. However, one of Balgobin's attackers was killed as he was ejected from the getaway car as it crashed into a lamppost near Trin City. The driver was also arrested and detained by police.